All right, so for this video, it's going to be all about completing the square, okay, which is the recent topic, completing the square. Now we have two tasks here, and they look slightly different from each other, but the concept it's really the same thing. Um, yeah, the two tasks are the top one is you can solve by completing the square, and the bottom one is to get the vertex form from the standard form. That kind of completing the square. Now, both involve the creation of perfect square, and we're talking about this in the last lesson, and we say, oh yeah, how do you get the perfect square, right? You divide this number by 2, and then you square it, okay, and then you add the same number on both sides. And why we do that is because we've got the perfect square. And then you just take the square root, and when you take the square root, remember it's the plus or minus square root. So x is equal to -2 plus or minus root 10. Okay, you simplify whatever you could, but if you can't, then just leave that as your answer. Easy. Okay. And for questions like number 3, make sure that you say thank you, because they already put the constant on the right hand side, so you don't have to move. You can focus on working on the left. Okay. Again, it's all about the perfect square. Can you see how we got the perfect square? Okay. All right. Now, and then for the vertex form right here. Okay. So you've got the y on the left. Okay. That is actually a line with a parabola. So we're not talking about x equals to a number or what. It's about it's an equation for a line. So that's why we would say, yeah, we will need to add a number right here, which is the square of of 18 divided by 2. I mean, square of the number that came from 18 divided by 2, which is 9. So 9 squared is 81. And then we have to subtract 81 because we are only working on one side and one side only. You add 81, you got to subtract it afterwards. And by doing so, you will create a perfect square. And as I said in class, in the video, this is the square that people tend to miss. Please don't, okay? And then and you can go ahead and have this. And if you say, oh, what is the vertex? And you can announce to the world that the vertex is going to be 9 comma -41. Okay, so that's really the value of completing the square, because it really helps you get the vertex a lot easier. You can see the vertex form, so in good information is there. Okay, so and if you happen to have something like this, okay, like number 4, as we said, that you always want to keep the x squared with the coefficient of 1. If you have some other number, you've got to factor it out. So you factor the 1/2, and then what about this? Factor the 1/2. Ooh, that would be 8x. Okay, because 8 times 1/2 is 4. Okay, so again, you imagine, okay, multiply the 1/2 back into parentheses. Do you get the same 2 terms? Okay, so that's a little bit of validation that you can use to help yourself. And then, of course, gonna add a number. You divide this by 2, and that will be 4, and square it, get 16. So you add 16, and then you've got to subtract 1/2 times 16. Don't forget there's a 1/2 outside of parentheses. So your final equation would be 1/2 x minus 4, perfect square. And then a minus, well, 16 times 1/2 is 8, right? So -5 minus 8 would be minus 13. So your vertex, if you're being asked, okay, it's 4 comma -13, right? 4 comma -13. So that's the usage of getting the usage of getting the using the completing square, right? So as I said in the lesson video, um, I strongly believe that completing the square is way better than using the quadratic formula. Okay, so again, my view. The next one, the next video would focus more on the graphing stuff. Okay, so stick around and we'll talk about graphing.